Hi, everybody. I was having a wonderful time today, right around in here. It was in the 90s, and we went swimming. The storm gradually moved in, but then this happened, and I want you to notice how this curves around this way, and then this will come around and do this weird curve too, which it seems like ends up being right where the center of the radar is. And you can see this radar sending out a beam here, right at that spot. But let's move it forward here. See how this starts to curve around. Curving. It's like the radar creates a turbulence in the storm system itself. But this was very wicked right in here. Up in this area, one of my friends was up there and said that the clouds were green and blue and black. We saw a gray coming in and then got home right before it started pouring. And the temperature dropped and it felt wonderful, actually. See this beam coming from this radar here. But see how this is turning right here, right at the point. Let's go back from it. This is the center of the radar right here. I'll zoom in and show you. The radar doesn't detect anything right above it. So it's kind of like a vortex area right in there. And I will take it back and then move it again forward. See how it curves around it? This is doing the same thing here, which is twisting the storm, which creates more of a wind pattern, is the way I see it. So I'm just going to have this move for you. And you can see there's this line in here that shows up toward the end of this. That isn't, there's multiple radar picking up on this. Let's move down here a little. This is Wisconsin. This is Illinois. Iowa over here. Minnesota up here. So that was a pretty wicked storm system that came through. And you can see all these different radar overlapping and interacting with this piece on here. This is this is College of DuPage, Next Generation Weather Map. Okay, all right. Let me show you the timestamp on that. That's right here. It says August 5th, but where I'm at, it's still the 4th of August because it is Central Standard Time. So that was the area right there that I was getting. We can click on this and look at the beam coming right through there onto the storm. And see, that's where it's curved around already. Let's make it loop a little. Oh, that's what, hold on. Okay, I went up on here and I pushed the 48 button. You can see the storm coming down on here. And then look at how the radar like goes boing, boing, boing. Like they're increasing the intensity of the radar itself to give us a certain type of reading with this. We'll look on the storm relative also. That looks much more crazy and intense. But on this site you can read about what these different colors mean and what all this means, which will give you a better idea of what's actually happening on here. And timestamp is on the bottom. There. But that was pretty wicked and intense coming into near us. Okay, now this is the radar map for the mainland of the United States. And I want you to notice how, and this happens almost every night, but not every night, how the radar intensifies as the time goes by during the evening. See this? And here's the intensity of the storm right here. And there's, if you watch, this gets stronger right there. but I don't understand the reason why the storm or why the radar gets more intense in the evening, or more visible, I guess would be better. These circles are at least 100 miles across, and radar does have a certain amount of energy that is being sent out when it's doing its checking of the atmosphere, which I believe influences the weather then. Okay, so this is in telecast, and this is the United States storm system. Down in here, there's been some kind of tropical storm or something going on for a long time now. These patterns have been just showing up like very frequently, and there was, yeah, this one over here also, and China was getting hit not that long ago. So these are constant, it seems like, for the past month. Now this is the area that hit us, but over here they're expecting flooding and possibly down into this area. But this was all just a while ago up here into Wisconsin, and just pouring and lightning and very intense. There's the cloud system. Excuse me, but you can see the radar pattern within the storm. It looks freaky. I would suggest spending some time just looking at some of that stuff and wondering why on some sites it looks so much different than it does on other sites where they tell you it's radar. For example, on the National Weather Service, this radar looks different than the last one. We can make this bigger, which is really kind of a fun thing about this site. We can make it loop or stand still. We can go down here and move it over. Look at the beams coming out of here. Now this all, like I said, was up here north just a little while ago. I'll show you. This is the last 24 hours on that site. See, it started out up here. We can move it along, and you can see it coming down. This is it coming across right here. And look at how far this stretches. So we'll move it a little more. And there it's getting intense. Right in there. That's where my friend was. I was right there, and I could see the gray clouds. They saw blue and green and black up in this area. And then we went over and intensifying. See, this is where I was telling you that the radar seems to be affecting it. And now the radar's starting to get intense also. See that change? Let's just move it through fast for you. Ta-da! This is AccuWeather. This was today. 90 degrees. Real feel 97 degrees because of the humidity. And then getting down to 70 degrees, which is wonderful right now. I will say that. It is wonderful outside. Don't pay any attention to this ad. If you would like some of this stuff, I can get it for you for much cheaper, so send me a private email. Okay, so I clicked on this. I'm on AccuWeather, and it says severe weather alert in my area, which is right in here. Wake low. I've never heard of that. Producing gusty winds across southern Wisconsin. A wake low is ongoing over southern Wisconsin, where pressures are falling in the wake of showers and thunderstorms moving to the east. Wind gusts of 35 to 40 miles an hour have been observed, and gusts up to 50 miles an hour are possible. Once the winds begin to increase, they could last for around an hour. Exercise caution and secure outdoor objects that could be blown in the wind. Huh. Isn't that interesting? I'm eating these really yummy potato chips right at the moment, and I'm very happy. So I'm back on Telecast, and this doesn't look like much of anything. But I live right around here, and each one of these lines is 5 minutes, so about 5, 10, 15 minutes. There will be more, although it looks like it's going the other direction. And this over here is showing some wind. This is wind. This is hail. So that will be interesting, and I'm going to go outside and feel it because I love storms. As long as the trees aren't blowing at me or something like that. Driving when it's raining really bad is not fun. Wintertime I don't like, but summer storms are fantastic. Let's take this off of here a minute, because that can be confusing, and just to see what is going on with the earthquakes on the planet, which I like to do. I'll just had a bunch of them right around this area. There's the storms I was talking about. This was a kind of big one here earlier, 6.1 in La Quilla. I always wonder what they have that detects earthquakes like down here, just out of curiosity. And this only goes halfway, which is odd. 6.2, ooh. In Iwo Jima. I made a video a while back of how lots of times there are earthquakes and tropical storms in the same area. It's like causes some kind of magnetic, magnetic change that creates, both at the same time, sort of. I see when I'm on this map, I can't see the earthquakes over here unless I move back over here. Then I can see them. That's odd. Anyway, I'm grateful for you, and I'm here at your service, and let me... Oh, come on, it's not going to move on me. So I guess I wanted to end it with, I'm on Wonder Map. I love their maps. Sometimes they have really bizarre stuff that shows up on here. But one of the things that's interesting is, look at how this curves around here, is they have this over here on this side where I can look at pictures that people posted throughout the day, and I can look at webcams in different areas. It'll show up in a minute. It's curving and acting like it doesn't want to show up. I can look at fires, which is, there's smoke from somewhere. Let's move back a little so. See that? That's smoke and fires. I can look at, now I think this is good because it really shows more of what is actually happening. The satellite. See that blob? That's more of what we're experiencing here, rather than what you see on the radar, which looks stupid. And isn't that interesting how that looks right there? And if we move it, sometimes it takes a while to catch it up. It's kind of like these cool amoebas, and like, look at that square shape there. Let's see if it'll do it. If it'll do anything. On my computer it's slow, so I'm sure most of you probably have something better than I do. You can see the center of the radar right in there also, which is right where that's curving to, coincidentally enough. And this, look at this weird line here. See that? Isn't that strange? That's some kind of odd pattern created by something. Oh, my time's almost done on this. So I am grateful for you, and I'm here at your service. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm clicking on tornado. Tornado right there. 2 of them. just added this